Welcome to webinar number 4 of the webinar series on planning for community food systems, opportunity, innovation, and equity in the Global South. My name is Yeeli Mui, and I'm a postdoctoral associate with the Community for Global Health Equity and the Food Systems Planning and Healthy Communities Lab at the University of Buffalo, State University of New York. In the last webinar, we learned about food systems challenges and opportunities with a deep dive in Accra, Ghana. Today, I will be presenting the first half of this webinar that focuses on the experiences in Thiruvananthapuram District, Kerala, also known as Trivandrum District. I am also joined by my colleague Erin Sweeney, who will share insights from Khordha District, Odisha, in the second half of today's webinar. Erin is a research affiliate with the Food Systems Planning and Healthy Communities Lab, and is currently based in Singapore. The next webinar, webinar number 5, will then close the series with a framework and call to action for strengthening community food systems in the Global South. Before we begin, we would like to offer our deepest gratitude to all of our partners in Ghana, India, and Jamaica, without whom this work would not have been possible, including food systems stakeholders, civil society partners, faculty and student partners, as well as local government partners. We would also like to thank the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the UB Community for Global Health Equity for their generous support. Okay, let's begin with our deep dive in Trivandrum District, Kerala. I'll first provide a brief overview of the district, followed by a discussion of community-driven and policy-led initiatives strengthening the food system. I'll then conclude with lessons and opportunities for future transformation of Trivandrum's community food system. Trivandrum District, highlighted in light green on the map, is home to 3.3 million people, as well as the state's capital and largest city, also known as Thiruvananthapuram. Over the last decades, Trivandrum District has transitioned from predominantly rural to predominantly urban, with the district's population at just over 50% urban and 46% rural in 2011. In terms of land use, 59% of Trivandrum's land is sown for agriculture in this urbanizing district. The district experiences temporal fluctuations in temperature and precipitation due to monsoons, which typically occur from the months of June to September. However, more recently, Trivandrum has had increasing unpredictability of rainfall, creating severe difficulties for farmers having to cope with extreme weather events such as droughts and flooding. Despite these challenging conditions, Trivandrum is rich in agriculture, including coconut, tapioca, plantain, jackfruit, mango, banana, and much more. Importantly, the district's food system is part of primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors, contributing to all parts of the district's economy. Food production operations such as farming and fishing enterprises contribute to the primary sector and generate about 7.6% to overall value-added output. Food processing and manufacturing establishments contribute to the secondary sector, and food distribution operations such as restaurants contribute to the tertiary sector. Unfortunately, data about the contribution of the aggregated food system to the district's economy does not exist. Strengthening economic linkages among food establishments across primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors would therefore yield greater economic return to the district. In terms of the district's population, Kerala's strong educational infrastructure has enabled high levels of literacy, with a literacy rate of 93% in the district. Agricultural laborers and cultivators comprise 11% of the district's population. And in terms of public health, while Trivandrum tends to have better outcomes compared to other parts of India, because of challenges in the food system, changes in local diets have resulted in the double burden of malnutrition, where both undernourishment and overnourishment can occur together within the same households and within the same communities. Next, I'll describe the local government structure of Trivandrum, which is similar to the structure of other states in India. Like all districts, rural and urban areas of Trivandrum are further divided into governance and administrative areas, which also have their own elected representatives. This table here illustrates local government entities down to the most decentralized structure in Trivandrum. Any effort to rebuild and strengthen food systems must account for these nested structures of local governments. In terms of the planning process, the 74th Amendment Act of the Constitution of India mandated the creation of two planning committees in 1993, the District Planning Committee and Metropolitan Planning Committee, both of which were charged with developing an integrated district development plan. The state of Kerala developed a sequence for plan preparation requiring 3 different plans as listed here. A district urbanization report for Trivandrum was published in January 2011, which includes a summary of several key planning topics. However, overall, planning frameworks do not describe how local government can integrate food systems into planning. A number of innovative community-driven initiatives are ongoing in the district. Headquartered in Trivandrum, Thanol is a non-governmental organization of environmental activists dedicated to sustainable resource management in agriculture, as well as environmental and human health. Founded in 1986, Thanol implements various programs to strengthen the food system. One particular program area centers on enhancing incomes for farmers and their households and promotes food safety for consumers. Thanol trains hundreds of smallholder farmers and organic farms to markets through Thanol's social enterprise called Organic Bazaar. Another community-led initiative is Sangha Maitri, which is a farmer-producer cooperative that is strengthening the food system in Trivandrum by connecting several food system sectors, including production, aggregation, processing, wholesale, and retail. Established in 2003, Sangha Maitri includes an estimated 6,500 farmer members and covers approximately 50 panchayats in the district. Farmer members carry out food production followed by aggregation, which occurs at Sangha Maitri headquarters and its 28 food hub locations. On the left is a photo of one of these hub locations where farmers drop off their produce to be stored in the cold storage facility, placed in ripening chambers, or put up for sale. Wholesale buyers then travel from as far as 200 kilometers, and retail customers from surrounding areas come to purchase farm products at retail sites, which you can see in the photo on the right. Sangha Maitri operates about 18 retail sites and 5 mobile vending trucks in locations with regular foot traffic. For each sale, Sangha Maitri farmer members immediately receive 95% of the profit, while the remaining 5% goes back to the cooperative. 2.5% is used for establishment fees, and the remaining 2.5% goes toward end-of-year bonuses that provide support for educational scholarships for children of farmer members, as well as medical support. Processing is a small part of the overall business, which includes the processing of banana chips and packaging of flour that is milled elsewhere. Altogether, Sangha Maitri supports a significant proportion of farmers by facilitating a uniquely stable market for farmer products in this rapidly urbanizing context. Lastly, an important but often overlooked innovation in the Trivandrum's food landscape is the homestead farm in meeting food production goals. Homesteads refer to family farms where food production areas surround the home of the farmer. Traditionally, such lands produced an array of crops, all in an intense biodiverse system near the homes of the farmers. Homestead farms are an integral part of the agricultural and cultural landscape in Kerala, and especially so in Trivandrum. What you see here is a sketch of a homestead farm in Trivandrum district, growing banana, tapioca, coconut, and other crops surrounding this farmer's home. Policy initiatives are also strengthening the community food system in Trivandrum district. As part of a district initiative called C5, local government leaders are moving forward on actions to strengthen Trivandrum's food system. In particular, Samruddhi is a program that aims to bring together community stakeholders and full-time farmers in an effort to transform 75 urban plots to urban organic farms in Trivandrum district. For the capital city, the Trivandrum Corporation and the Department of Town and Country Planning published a draft master plan in 2012. On the left is a map showing the land use plan, with the green colors on the map depicting land for agricultural use. Layered on the previous land use plan is the Trivandrum Development Plan for 2031, with plans for a new town to the north, a port town to the south, as well as other development. Should such development plans be implemented, on the right side you'll see a map that shows far less green, pointing to decreased land for agricultural use in the future. This now brings me to the segment on lessons learned and opportunities for future transformation in community food systems of Trivandrum District. Farmers in this context describe challenges related to low land ownership due to increasing land prices. Land under lease was described as especially high risk due to the lack of farmland protection and uncertainty of when a farmer's livelihood could be taken away. A farmer in a neighboring district of Thrissur shared, "I am a landless person. I don't have land. That's why I am nomadic farming. Whenever this landowner tells you go, we have to go only, no option." Farmers also shared challenges related to droughts and flooding that directly threaten the sustainability of their farm operations. In addition, water supply was reportedly restricted due to increasing housing and business developments. One farmer in Trivandrum shared, when they were constructing the highway, whenever they would release the water through the channel, it would make the soil fall into the channel. So after that, they've stopped doing this release of water every 3 months. For the past 2 years, they are releasing water once in a year. It's been 4 months since they last released water. It lasted 2 days. Farmers also described a range of health challenges due to the physical demands of their work and related debt as a result of medical expenses. Another farmer in Trivandrum shared, "I'm in debt because I had 2 surgeries. One was for the kidney stone. After Onam, I had urinary obstruction. Then my family has health issues too. So for the last 2 years, all income from vegetables goes there. The last 3 to 4 years, I ended up accruing a lot of debt, mainly due to health issues. Otherwise, I would have been free from debt now." Lessons from the experiences of farmers and food advocates point to opportunities for local governments to strengthen and transform the community food system in Trivandrum District. Local government planning for food systems could go a long way to improve well-being, including that of smallholder farmers, by taking actions that address local needs and build on local initiatives and innovations. For example, ensuring that smallholder farmers have access to land and land ownership, establishing infrastructures that support a comprehensive food system model. Local government can also facilitate farmers' transition to organic farming methods. And lastly, local governments can strengthen homestead farming by incentivizing them through public funds and other mechanisms.
Moving from the southern tip of India to the eastern side along the Bay of Bengal, we come to the rural state of Odisha. Across the state, only 16% of residents live in cities, while the other 84% reside in rural areas. Located along the eastern side of the state, Khorda district is home to the state capital, the city of Bhubaneswar. The city is urbanizing. Its geographic area increased 5 times from 1951 to 2001. Although it is urbanized, 38% of the district's geographic land area is still zoned for agriculture. The climate is temperate and advantageous for agricultural production. Rainfall has been unpredictable in recent years, however, creating challenges for farmers. In Khorda district, 48% of residents live in urban areas. Planning documents in Bhubaneswar state that Khorda has the highest population density in the state due to the rural-urban migration as people seek employment opportunities in the city. Yet 12% of the population is still seeking or available for work, a higher unemployment rate than other cities in Odisha. With an 87% literacy rate, residents in Khorda are more likely to be literate than others across the state. Korda struggles with a similar challenge to many urbanizing areas, where undernutrition and malnutrition may exist in the same region. Korda has the second highest rate of diabetes among districts in the state, perhaps due to a shift in food environments in its urban areas. Korda has a diverse economic base and relies on all the sectors that are part of the food system. Although agriculture, animal husbandry, and fisheries are only 6% of the district's gross domestic product, food comprises portions of the district's gross domestic product in the manufacturing, transportation, and trade, hotel, and restaurant sectors. At 20% of the gross district domestic product, Korda has a high concentration of trade, hotel, and restaurants, a sector which relies heavily on food production and processing stages to feed the many residents and tourists in the city every day. Agricultural workers make up 26% of the Korda workforce, which includes cultivators who own their land and laborers who work for wages. Small and marginal landholders grow 78% of the crops in the district, which include paddies, pulses, fruits, and vegetables, and are staples of the local diet. Majority, or 72%, of agricultural workers in Korda district own the land they cultivate. The vast majority, or 81%, of the land holdings are marginal, less than 1 hectare in size. Since 2001, the number of semi-medium, or 2 to 4 hectare land holdings has decreased by 51%. Meanwhile, marginal land holdings have increased by 20% in that time, which indicates that farm sizes are shrinking quickly. As we saw in the Kerala case just now, rural and urban areas within every state are subdivided into governance and administrative areas. Due to the various nested levels of governance within just one district, challenges may arise with district-wide planning efforts. Rural governance bodies must create land suitability and land use analyses in Odisha, but their jurisdictions do not align with district boundaries. Therefore, their land use analyses may not align with master plans for the adjacent urban areas. Meanwhile, urban municipalities neglect to consider the key role of agricultural communities in their district during land use planning stages. An official responsible for planning across the state pointed to Odisha's economic reliance on rural communities, particularly on food production. They emphasized the need for district-wide land use planning, saying, "We need to consider rural and regional planning because growth of the town depends on the surrounding economic activity. We need to make food security the main issue of an urbanization policy. We should have a rigid urban boundary so that cities develop vertically, not horizontally." They added, "Lower rates of urbanization in Odisha is a blessing in disguise. We can be more prepared with plans and policies before rapid urbanization begins." Self-organized groups offer opportunities for farmers to leverage their collective resources and power to access greater economic and social returns. For example, one centrally funded women's self-help group outside Bhubaneswar is supported by block-level agricultural managers. Farmers reported a greater sense of autonomy and capacity to earn significant incomes as a result of their membership in this group. One farmer said, "There are 1,000 women who are not sitting idle anymore. Like in this village, if 5 or 6 women are left out after having this group, then they are also joining it, even in doing agriculture. They're saying that if these people can do this, women can, why not we?" Civil society groups play an important role as well. Living Farms is a Bhubaneswar-based nonprofit organization which is concerned about food sovereignty among marginal, landless, and tribal farmers across the state. In another southern district, they facilitated the formation of an organic farmers market at a hospital. Hospital staff and farmers formed a group to cooperatively decide how to price and market organic produce to the community, leading to greater returns for farmers and access to healthy produce for residents. There may be opportunities for greater collaboration between NGOs and local government staff to leverage existing assets that connect smallholders to diverse market opportunities in Korda district. Local governments are often responsible for implementing state-level laws that regulate land use rights and the conversion of land from agriculture to non-agricultural uses. These laws may be intended to protect arable land from being converted to real estate or other uses. In the case of the 2013 Right to Fair Compensation and Transparency Act, safeguards were put in place to protect irrigated land during land acquisition periods. Although the state regulation may have been intended to protect land for agriculture, 53% of the gross cropped area in Korda District is not irrigated and therefore would not be protected by this act. Changes in land conversion requirements may cause confusion among local government staff, leading to potential oversights or faster land conversion in the end. Street vendors play a key role in many urbanizing food systems as they provide direct markets for farmers and affordable access to fresh food for residents. In Bhubaneswar, the capital city in Korda District, city planners have developed multiple strategies to formalize street vending over the last 10 years. The first effort in 2009 sought to organize street vendors into individual stalls in order to reduce street congestion and offer street vendors formal spaces to conduct their businesses. The second effort to formalize street vending began in 2018, in which the City Municipal Corporation sought to identify and relocate street vendors to designated indoor structures explicitly for that use. Although the policy is meant to support street vendors, the indoor spaces would only accommodate 10% of all the street vendors in Bhubaneswar. The policy raises questions of equity as majority of vendors would not be able to benefit from the social and financial security of the vending zones. The Bhubaneswar Development Plan area is a region which encompasses the city of Bhubaneswar, the BDPA Rural, and 2 other municipalities. The 4 local government bodies noticed the growing pressures in the region due to the increasing population, such as pressure on housing, water and sanitation, and jobs. The stakeholders worked together to create a comprehensive development plan for the region called Vision 2030. Their goal is to move toward more balanced development that will improve quality of life and the region's desirability. To reach these goals, the plan proposes a shift from agriculture to a service-based economy with a reduction in land for agriculture from 30% to 14% by year 2030. The plan calls on farmers to cultivate high-yielding products and encourages more food processing businesses to emerge. Yet, the plan does not describe how to link these farm products to market opportunities in Bhubaneswar or the district. The Vision 2030 document is concerned with livability in an urbanizing area, but may overlook livelihoods for those engaged in the food system. The stakeholders of the plan acknowledge the need for some agricultural production in certain rural parts of the region, which is reflected in this land use map. Agriculture is represented by the light green areas in the north and southwest parts of the map. Yet, the overall decrease in land area for agriculture will have ripple effects throughout the system. For example, the proposed food processing facilities may not be able to source enough product from district farms and will instead buy raw food from other districts within or outside the state. The facilities will then incur higher costs of transportation, and Korda farmers will have to find other markets for their product. Plans that target a single food system sector, in this case production, may be unsuccessful in reaching their goals without a clear regional plan for strengthening the entire food system. Farmers in Korda District reported multiple challenges related to urbanization and structures of support that I'll go explore further now. As more job opportunities arise in and around Bhubaneswar, workers are seeking daily wage labor and salaried work in the city rather than choosing to work as agricultural laborers. Farmers also notice a change in the food preferences of the younger generation, noting that those members of the household prefer to eat outside food rather than food grown and cooked at home. Outside food consumption may be connected to the higher rate of diabetes diagnoses in the district. Farmers don't know whether their own children will choose to farm or instead sell the land to developers. Given the changes in labor availability and a younger generation's disinterest in farming, farmers in Korda District are unsure how much and where farming will occur in the district in the future. If they, the children, study well and want to be employed, then they will move forward to a job. The more important thing is studies. If that's good, then okay. While farmers may be worried about the future of their farms, they also seek educational and job opportunities for their children outside agriculture. Farmers struggle with changing weather patterns, including droughts and cyclones, that might destroy or damage crops. Farmers also spoke about challenges with late payments for their crops from government buyers and shifts in demand from private traders. Farmers did report support from agricultural block managers in trainings for new technologies, as well as shops that provide lower-cost inputs. Yet, there's a lack of structural support at the local government level to offer financial stability, such as low-interest loans, in the face of various challenges, according to farmers in the district. One farmer noted the conflict between the need for space for housing and the need to produce food in the urbanizing district. Both asides, there are houses now. Even if government decreases it and provides food, it will become difficult to feed the population. If it won't, then how can it be good? As farmland decreases to make room for real estate development, this farmer sees a threat to food security for area residents. For this last segment on Korta District, I'll share some lessons learned and opportunities for future transformation in this district's food system that emerged from our conversations and feedbacks from stakeholders in the district itself. First, local government must facilitate existing entities, such as NGOs like Living Farms, by engaging their expertise during planning processes and decision-making. Organizations such as iConcept are forming farmer networks that provide training to communities on switching to organic production practices and more. These types of organizations understand the local context that farmers experience and often easily identify ways to link opportunities to address challenges that they face. Since land for agriculture is projected to decrease by 2030, farmers who rely on agricultural labor or leasing additional land, like sharecroppers, may struggle to maintain their livelihoods. Policies must support leaseholders to formalize their rights to the land through land titles. In addition to preserving farmland, local government must invest in education and provide startup capital for people to invest in food processing and manufacturing sectors. Investment in small and medium enterprises may also help create jobs that address the need for employment opportunities in Korta District. Government can also play a key role in ensuring that key ancillary factors, such as transportation infrastructure and small-scale loan institutions, are available to those trying to start food processing businesses. Finally, local government should support the formation of farmer-led groups that could advocate for infrastructural improvements, price stabilization, access to credit, and timely government payments. Such a farmer-led entity could also support information sharing on crop diversification, organic practices, and offer learning opportunities for young people interested in food-related industries. A system-focused, farmer-led entity would push for mutual economic benefit among all food system stakeholders. Thank you for listening. The next and final webinar is on Friday, May 3rd, and we will provide a synthesis of lessons and opportunities learned from our 4 case studies about food systems planning in the Global South. We look forward to having you back with us tomorrow for the 5th and final webinar in the series.